Hello everybody and welcome back to West Mountain Adventures. Daniel here. It is January 17th, Thursday, 2019. I hope everybody's having a great new year. Thought I would take a moment, shoot a video. It's been a little while since I did one. So, kind of show everybody a little update and where we are and what's going on. So let's start with things that still need to be done before we can begin moving in. This small section here needs to be put up, but that's okay because I have already cut it and I've dry fit it, so I know it's going to go up right. The other piece sitting up here on top, that one will need to be trimmed down and will go up there, and I will need to cut another one to go across there. Obviously I still need some insulation up there. We've had some wet weather recently and it has shown me a couple of things. That section up there is wet right now. I know where the leak is coming from. It's one of the lights outside on the back. That'll be easy enough for me to fix once I have a few minutes and decent weather to do it in. So that, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be putting the cover back on the springs. It is damaged and I just don't know yet. We'll see how it goes when we get there. Electrical, I still have to put those attached to the wall. If you remember from our previous videos, all three of those were down there. But since that area is going to become a workstation with a desk on it, I needed to put them up higher so that they're more usable. I put 1-inch insulation in the windows, at least in that one, and you'll see in a minute, one in the dining area. Partially to insulate, and partially just to have a little privacy in here while I was working. That one I did not put any insulation in because people can't see in it. So the window frames, interior window frames need to go back up. Both of those are there, standing by, ready to go. I still need to screw that light to the wall. I'll need to put up the frame on that as well. I believe I mentioned in a previous video that I've gotten a hold of Cola RV in Carthage, Missouri, and they can get me replacements for those, and those do need to be replaced. I may end up just putting a piece of foam insulation over the top of it for the time being. That up there is our air conditioning vent. As I'm guessing with many RVs, air conditioning vents run through the ceiling and heating vents run through the floor, which all in all is pretty smart. I did notice recently that they appeared to have some kind of tape or Velcro up there at some point, and I'm thinking I might replace that and actually put up a piece of Reflectix for the winter, just to help keep the heat in this area. Anyways, so this air conditioning vent, I am a little concerned that this particular area where Linda Lisa will be working may not stay cool enough, so I needed to take things apart a little bit and take a look at them. Alright, so I'll get to that in a minute when I get into the dining room. This light here still needs to be affixed to the wall. This light switch and this outlet are already fixed and are done. I will be doing trim work throughout at some point in time, but that is something I can work on after we move in. So around the doors, around the windows, these seams here, and in the corners, I'll get some kind of trim work up in there eventually. Haven't quite figured out what we're doing with the door just yet, but I will find a solution for it. And again, that's something I can work on after we move in. I did purchase a screen door Got a really good deal on it. So, however, it is a 30-inch screen door because they apparently don't make them any smaller than that. And so I will need to cut it down and retrofit it into the 24 by 65 and 3/4 inch door opening that I have. Alright, so back to the air conditioning. There's another vent inside above the kitchen dining area, and you can see up here I've already purchased the pipes I'm going to be using. I will be coming down out of that vent and through that wall to add an additional vent for the AC going into that room. I do have a cap on one end, and that will remain loose so that I can cap it on either end and force the air either into the living space over here or into the art studio on the other side. Once again, I've done a little foam insulation in here. It really does seem to help keep the place warm, but obviously it does not allow any light to come in. So down into the living area, you may notice that there is no table in the dining area. The legs are still there. They got my battery chargers on there. That is because I disassembled the table and it became my work table. I went ahead and purchased 4 legs that are adjustable, and that table will end up here in the corner for Linda Lisa's computer work, and then her art studio, and then maybe an additional table down there, which is again why I moved the electrical switch and outlet to the top. Alright, so what am I going to do for a dining room table? Well, I did purchase this 24 by 48 table. I'm actually going to cut it in half and mount one of the legs to the bottom of it, and then mount that back to the floor for a dining workspace in here, and then the other half I will put the other leg on, and I will put over on this side of the studio and office for myself as a table. I may end up getting a larger table in there. I may find that 24 by 24 is not quite enough space for me to work on, but that's a bridge I can cross at another time. So the seat here kind of became my catch-all for my tools. When it gets late, sometimes I'm not diligent about putting my tools away, and well, you kind of see the result of that. Scrap wood from the panels. I've kept them just in case I needed little pieces here or there. And, I don't know, they'll probably end up in the trash or recycle bin or something, I'm not sure yet. I did pick up some rope caulking. You may see that in a previous video, or if you make it over to our Instagram account, you may see photos of where I've used it outside. It was a quick fix that I was able to use on a couple of the leaks, and if I get some decent weather, I may end up putting it on the back there, where I've got that leak over there until spring or summer, when I can do real repairs to everything. Some other things going on. This is where originally the TV was supposed to go, so we have coaxial cable running in there. We'll jump back over here into the office to get back to that. Now at the bottom here, you'll see that orange cable coming through. That's the coaxial that runs to the dining area. So I'm going to need a splitter so that I can have internet run in to this room, but we're also going to have a TV in the bedroom, so I need that original cable to run into the kitchen area so that I can run it into the bedroom. Problem is that the connector is 2 inches back in the wall, back in that dark hole. I kind of panicked over that a little bit when I realized what I was doing. So I went around outside and looked, and it's just 3 screws holding in a small round panel that has an extension adapter for coaxial. So when I get ready to do cable, I will just take that off, put a short adapter on it, run it in here to the splitter, and then I can reseal that properly, make sure that no water comes in, and then we can connect to the outside. It'll be fine. Alright, so I thought I would just give a little tour of kind of what became of the place as I was working on it. Been using my tortilla bag for little trash until I could get it into the big trash bag that you saw back in the office. Breakfast of champions here. Sandwich meat, tortillas, I'm out of cheese, and pickles to top it all off. I'm also out of drinks. I need to go shopping. Switch from Mountain Dew to Dr. Pepper. It's much more palatable. Not a whole lot going into the bathroom, other than the fact that I did do laundry recently. Well, that's kind of where it ended up. The recent rains have also pointed out that I have a leak up there somewhere. That one will definitely take precedence of finding out where it is and getting it fixed, because a leak in the roof in an RV is never a good thing. But aside from that, I don't seem to have any leak issues. I haven't noticed any wet spots or any soft spots in the walls. So, you know, for an 11-year-old toy hauler, I think that's overall pretty good. The original door from the garage section, took that out. It's not really a viable option for us to use right now. Screens for the windows in the other room. Plastic bags have the old insulation in it. I hung on to it just in case I needed it to fill gaps or anything like that. I'll probably keep a small bag of it, maybe in storage. Kept all my scrap pieces of foam insulation. The silver stuff here I'll be using to fill in the last of the spaces over the top of the garage door. Butyl tape. Fantastic, amazing stuff. If you have an RV and you don't have this in your RV somewhere, you should get it. It is called Butyl Tape. I heard somebody refer to it as dum-dum tape. It's basically a putty that is pliable, but once it is in place and you have screwed down whatever you're putting into place, that stuff pretty much seals out everything. One tip that I did hear was that if you're using this on your roof to help seal in, for example, I'll use it up above when I reseal the skylight. If it is exposed to the sun, you need to put a caulking over the top of it, as the sun, the UV rays will break it down. It is designed to be underneath something and not exposed to the direct sunlight. Future home of our soon-to-be new TV. There's a coaxial running down there, so I can run that in. Which is weird. I need to figure all that out, because it looks like they ran coaxial in from the dining area where the original TV is, and yet there's coaxial there. It might actually go up to the satellite, so that may be a different thing. Yet another bridge to cross at another time. I left the blinds up here, again, just to kind of keep prying eyes out for the moment. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, I'm putting it on YouTube, but I want to keep privacy. Yeah. Eventually I'll need to get that fixed, but again, that's something I can probably work on after we get in. I'm really kind of pushing to be out of our new old place and into this place by the end of the month. And I'm back to work again, so I only have 2 days a week to work on it and actually get moved. So I have this coming Monday or the following Monday to actually make the move happen. So in very short order, all of this is going to go away. Either go to the trash or to the storage unit, or into the bay somewhere. These guys here, J-Channel, I really should go back and watch some of my older videos so I remember what all I put in them. So this is going to be J channel for the underpinning. Another project, another video for another time. Something else I'm not sure that I know I've never actually seen it in a video about anybody living in an RV, but because we are going to be permanent setting for a while, I purchased this roof and gutter de-icing kit. And since we don't really have a basement, a 60 watt light bulb or 100 watt light bulb doesn't really help us in keeping our pipes from freezing over. And since I am going to put underpinning under this anyways, and like I said, we're going to be fairly permanent for several years probably until we're ready to travel, I am going to be installing that underneath the RV. Basically what that is a heat cable. And I've already bought a plug-in that has an adapter on it that turns the power on at 34 degrees and turns the power off at 40 degrees. And that is actually outside, plugged in already, waiting for this. So, underpinning, and then I will need to lay down roofing shingles, which I've already purchased, and then I can lay this cable down over the top of it to reduce the risk of fire or damage to the cable. Alright. I'm coming to an end of this, I guess. Take us back into the art studio, since that's really what this is all about. And one last kind of go around on the art studio. Again, trim work above the pieces there. Got one piece that's already cut, ready to go in there. A little more insulation. Wall panels up there. Some minor work on this side to get everything back in place. And then we will be ready to clear this place out and ready to move in. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and sign off now then. Happy trails to everybody. Hit the like button if you like. Hit the subscribe button, notification, and of course, comment. We will see you in the next video, and the next video will probably be either a moving in video or already moved in video. We'll see what I have for time when it comes down to that. Alright, talk to you guys later. See you in the next video. Bye.